Good afternoon, ma'am. Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Once again, good afternoon to one and all present here for the afternoon session of day 3 of Faculty Development Yoga Program on integrating yoga in higher education on the occasion of International Day of Yoga 2022, organized by Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education and Research, Chennai. May I now request Dr. D.C. Matangi, Professor and Head, Department of Mind Body Medicine and Lifestyle Sciences from Sri Ramachandra Faculty of Allied Health Sciences, Chennai. She has completed her MSc in Medical Physiology. She has completed her PhD and MBA in Hospital Management. She has more than 25 years of experience in teaching and research. She has been awarded many times, such as Young Scientist Award at national level, Young Woman Scientist Award for Government of Tamil Nadu, Visiting Scientist Award, and Rene Visiting Professorship Award from University of Western Australia, Perth, Australia. She has been trained by MHRD under the Leadership for Academician program at IISER, Harvard University. She is an NAC assessor. She has one patent under her. She has delivered more than 135 talks. Her research was on stress and sleep, which the project was funded by the DRDO, DRDE, DSP, ICMR, ResMed, and RSDI. She has more than 56 publications with over 400 plus citations and H-index of 12. I welcome you, ma'am. She is having today's topic for our speaker is guidance and counseling. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome. The dais is open for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that kind introduction, Dr. Pallavi. It's my pleasure and honor to be a part of this wonderful program. In the midst of, I should say that, very senior faculty who are here. I see Dr. Kalai Selvi raising her hand. Is there anything, Kalai Selvi, before I share my screen? Fine. I'm sharing my screen now.
Start, ma'am.
Yeah. Just Pallavi, just tell me if I'm on a full screen mode now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. I wish to start this with the famous shloka that we always do, probably at the end of a program, but I take it at the beginning of this session in itself. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I don't think there is any better shloka than this when we are talking about counseling and mentoring. We always think like most of these shloka has a religious connotation along with it, but somehow this, anything that we take from Upanishad doesn't have a religion at all with it. But this shloka, I have given the meaning. We have been chanting this. I am giving the meaning here. It is between the teacher and the taught. How beautifully it has been expressed. May God protect both of us. May God nourish both of us. May we work together with energy and vigor. May our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. This is what a teacher needs to do. When I teach a class, it's not that I am giving a gyan to my student. Every time I teach a set of students, my understanding about the topic becomes wider and wider. I start to learn how best I deliver to the set of my students who are new every time that they are. Here is where it comes like how a mother knows what needs to be given for each of her child. That's how a teacher has to do. You're just adding one more feather to the cap of the teacher, a mentor. What a mentor needs to do. I'm a little surprised when this topic has come in when we are celebrating as speakers for the International Day of Yoga. But I just feel like mentoring is another union. This union is between the heart and the mind of the student and the taught. That's beautiful union. I think sir has taken it on that connotation, like how it could be done. When I see a mentor, I don't see any better example than Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. How much Naren questioned his teacher, Sri Ramakrishna, until he became Swami Vivekananda. Now he became the mouth of Sri Ramakrishna, which could say what Sri Ramakrishna wanted to say across the globe. This was possible because Sri Ramakrishna allowed Naren to get each of his doubts cleared. The special thing about Sri Ramakrishna was his 14 direct disciples whom we worship. Each one of them, he identified what they can do, what they are good at, what can be molded in them. And each one of them have excelled as much as Swami Vivekananda has excelled. Each one. If I say Sri Sharadama, he knew what she is capable of. Literally, he gave his baton to Sri Sharadama. Swami Vivekananda, he gave it to take the baton throughout the globe. So when we see it, this is what a mentor needs to do. So in this session, how I thought I'll be going is, why do we need mentoring? And some methods of mentoring, how we can do mentoring. That's how I'm taking this. When I say mentoring, automatically a bit of counseling comes along with it. Okay? So that's how I'm just going to take. Though I'm talking about Sri Ramakrishna, or we can think of any other Guru Sishya Parampara that we are very famous for in India. The word mentor has come from the Greek mythology. Odysseus, before he left to the Trojan War, he left his son in the care of one of his most faithful friends. His name was Mentor. So what is mentoring? That means it's a brain that can pick. When I say pick, it can pick the right and the wrong. So the mentor enables you to distinguish the good and the bad, the wanted and the unwanted, and your brain picks that. Here to listen and a push in the right direction, right? So now these are the things that mentoring actually brings in. These are the words of Bill Gates. So I just thought that these two things are really wonderful for us to take. Okay, before I go on, all of us definitely have one of our teacher whom we revere like anything, right? Can you just put on the chat what is that one quality of your mentor which you still owe to wherever you are, in whatever position you are now? That one quality that your mentor instilled in you. Can you just put it on the chat? Humility, selflessness. It would be nice if we have more of you thinking about your mentors. Faith, good. Patience and strength, definitely. Loyalty, yes. Improvement and growth. So it is a dynamic. I have reached a summit. No, there is much more for you to achieve. Willingness for continuous learning, very true. Politeness with firmness. I think that's beautifully put into Lekha. Caring, building self-realization. Fantastic. Like students, yes, they love their students more than their children. Building leadership, very, very right. They identify what we are good at and they make us do that to the best. Great. Anything more? Very good. Let me make up one more. All of us are now mentors, at least most of us are now mentors. What is that one character or trait of you which your mentees now adore you for? Tackling emotions, very true, Veda. And being good students also, good. You are a mentor now. What is that one trait that you have got in yourself? Perseverance, yes, very much. And otherwise, we cannot handle the chickens of this generation. Good. I'm sure there are some mentors here. Sculpts a stone in a beautiful idol. Very good. They know what to chip out and what to retain in us. Ability to connect soulfully. Yes. Friendly approach. Motivate students. Excellent, Shyamala ma'am. Leadership and problem solving ability. Great. Updated. Vidyashri, you are a fantastic teacher. A teacher, we always say, when you put the mirror of a teacher, it is learn. Empathy, personal relationship, being an example. Fantastic. Because many things are not taught, are seen and learned. So how I am, my children learn from me. Excellent. It is a friend and a father and a mother too, right? Great. Great. So let me go back to the session now. So each of you have said, almost covered what I want to say in this session, right? Our mentors have been wonderful to us. They have been giving beautiful things. It is a collaboration. Both of us get benefited because it's a wonderful partnership, right? Between the mentee and the mentor. We share our experiences and our expertise, right? Something I'm good at, something my student is good at. I learned something. Most of us learned many things in our technology in this COVID pandemic from our students, isn't it? So we learn so many things to help with personal and professional growth, like you people said, emotional, available for them emotional. Okay? So each one of us have been doing all these things. So a mentor, who can be a mentor? Mentor has some experience. He is thoughtful. That means he's able to think beyond the present. A very caring person. He's able to pass on not just his lessons, but also his experiences with someone who doesn't have so much of experience, right? It need not be age, it is only the experience. A mentee, I can call some of my students, they are my prodigy, right? Why do I tell them? He has his skills, knowledge, and experience, which you're just channelizing into a proper direction. He permits you to channelize them. That's a mentor who is literally given all these things into your hand to take it further. Okay? Certain things, before I go further, we have some myth in mentoring. It is one way. No, it is not a one-way relationship. It is a two-way relationship. Okay? A mentoring relationship can be done only face to face, not at all. I think this pandemic has made us realize, like, I don't need to see the other person. Without seeing them, I can do a very beautiful mentoring session, right? It is time consuming process. No, it is time investing process. Yes, you are investing the time for another plant, another sapling to grow beautifully. In that way, you are getting one more experience added up to your credentials. Expectations are the same for everyone, not at all. As I said, how Sri Ramakrishna molded each one in a different way. Each of our mentee, we mold them into the specific way we want. A mentor must be older, not required. Okay, that's why I said it is not one way, it is a two-way relationship as well. Developing a mentoring relationship is complicated. No, it just needs the heart and the mind, which is ready to learn, ready to train, ready to give the learning to the other person. You need only one mentor at a time. No, we can have multiple mentors to hone our skills. Okay. And finally, mentoring relationships happen on their own. Sometimes it does happen on their own, but sometimes both of us have to work. The mentor and the mentee need to work for the mentoring session to be fruitful. Okay? So now these are the myths all of us are having when we think of mentoring. But a mentoring has direction, not a single direction, multi-pronged approach. There is a lot of training and support that is given with immense motivation, enabling our mentees to set a goal, and we are there to see to it that he achieves that goal. For what? His success is actually my success, right? We celebrate our success together. That's mental, right? Can I be a mentor? What should I have if I want to be a mentor? Am I ready to invest time? I don't see it as a time waster. I want to be a part of these young kids in their growing period. It's like the fence that is required for a sapling. You are there to make them grow in the right direction. And the love to train them, the desire, it should be there in us if we want to be a mentor. I have that knowledge, the experience, and I've had the exposure, right? If I have it, definitely I can be a mentor on that. If not, I'm going to refer them to somebody else, right? That should also be there. I am ready to unlearn certain things, to learn a new thing from my mentee as well. And I'm very good at communication, and my credibility is never under a question, right? So if you have all these things, you can be a mentor, right? So what are the personal skill sets that we need to have in ourselves to be a mentor? I should definitely, when I say communication, I should be ready to listen. Can I motivate another person? I just say not motivate. Can I inspire somebody? If I can, I think that's the best thing that I can do. For inspiring somebody, I don't need to talk. I have to be the way I want the other person needs to be. Seeing me, he gets inspired to be on time to the class, like that. Okay. So am I an influencer? Do I manage my time beautifully so that my mentees are saying, how can she juggle between multiple roles with Elan? That's time management. Okay. Anything, because you said emotional issues also, I'm available for my mentees. That means I should know to maintain strict confidentiality. I have an open mind to listen to them, and I'm committed to whatever I'm doing, and I show the enthusiasm in being there for them, right? What we should not have is we are not a substitute for the teacher. We are not the career messiah. We are just going to tell them these are the opportunities available. They are going to decide what they want. We cannot do a miracle unless and until they are also ready to invest in their grooming. Just because I'm the dean and I'm also a mentor for my student, I cannot give them the privileges. I know where to draw the line. He might be my mentee, but when I take up the mentor role, he's my mentee. When I take the dean role, he's only another student. I'm not going to give him additional privileges, right? I'm not going to promote or sponsor or protect my mentee. Everybody is equal, right? No partiality. And most important thing, we should know we are not a psychiatrist, we are not a therapist. When that help is required for our mentees, we should refer them to the appropriate person, right? So a mentor definitely asks open-ended questions. He listens a lot with a lot of empathy and is able to reflect back. He is aware of what is happening as well. And how he makes it is, he asks the mentee to summarize whatever the discussion has gone. Any separate issue, he's able to identify them individually, speak to them separately, tell them what is the most intriguing thing in them, where should they work on. So there is so much of clarity with which the mentor speaks and is able to summarize it so that the take-home message is this. I'm able to give all these things to my mentee. Okay. The problem that a mentee has before he comes to a mentor is the fear of the unknown. Will I be judged? Will I fail? Will this relationship work? All these things happens. But all of us need to know one important thing. Nothing grows in a comfort zone. We have to move out of the comfort zone. You're ready. Your mentor pushes you out of the comfort zone. You are lacking self-confidence. You find excuses. Okay? You're in a fear zone. That's the time when the mentor has to build in your confidence, make you see every problem as a challenge. Why not? Try it. It's okay. You're very good at writing. Write it and now go and speak. Learn a new skill. Make him come out of the comfort zone. That a mentor can do it. So one success that you are making him see, you have made him take the next step to go from the learning zone towards the growth zone. Yes, I never thought I could speak. I did speak well with the paper this time. Next time, let me speak it without a paper. You're making him grow beyond what he thought he cannot. You made him grow. You're making him find the life purpose, the dream, set a new goal and make him achieve that. So the one thing that with the fear with which the mentee comes, a mentor makes him bloom like a full-blown tree, right? We try all these things. So a mentee should also be ready to invest the time and want to learn. That sincerity should be there. If he's not able to do, he should be able to communicate at least, right? The credibility should be there. And he should be able to listen with a lot of humility, because I have come to learn. That's why age is not an issue. I can learn even from a person who's younger to me, like how we see Tayumanavan. Even a person younger to me, I should be ready to learn from them with all the humility. And I should be a good time management. Might should be really good, right? As much as my mentor has to have confidentiality, as a mentee too, I should have confidentiality. My mentor identifies something lacking in me. That acceptance should be there. Only if I accept, am I permitting my mentor to work on me? The commitment and the enthusiasm to learn should be there. Right? We always say we can take the horse to the pond, but we can't make it drink, right? That's very, very true. We as a mentor can do all these things to a mentee, but the mentee also needs to take all these efforts. Right? Now, is my mentoring be only one-on-one, or can I have different types of mentoring? Yes, we can do a one-on-one mentoring that we actually always have, right? But a mentee can have more than one mentor. When I do some mentoring, what I do is I mentor all the students, but I also make them buddy pairs. Now, one good student, one mediocre student, when I make them a buddy pair, this good student starts to become the mentor for the mediocre student. And both of them, see, when you teach, you learn better. Make the good student teach the moderate student. He understands the concepts better. He learns the basics. He develops confidence in training another person. He has confidence in answering the question. So this can also be done. This is a triad. Can I have a collective group? Okay, more than one mentor and more than one mentee-mentor direction as well. As a mentee, can I have multiple mentors? Yes, that is also possible. That is network mentoring. This network mentoring helps a lot in our research. When we do research, we have this network mentoring, which really helps us to do the basic research, to do the clinical trial-based research, to get funding, to write it, to have a collaborator abroad who helps me in working on my language skills as well. All these things that network mentoring helps. Can we try all of them, right? Now, this mentoring that we have seen, this method can be a one-on-one mentoring or a group mentoring or a peer mentoring. This COVID has made us also have a distance mentoring and a reverse mentoring, right? Your mentee becomes your mentor as well. That reverse mentoring can definitely happen. But before any meeting or any session, a speed mentoring actually helps your mentee a lot, right? So we can have different types of mentoring that we can try on. As I said, it is a mutually beneficial relationship. A mentor, as a mentor, as we all said, that patience, developing good communication skill and interpersonal relationship and commitment and touching the soul of an individual, a mentor can bring it. These are the benefits I get as a mentor when I see my mentee scaling up the ladder and coming and telling you that I have become a dean. He was your mentee. Now he is a dean. Won't you feel really like lovely, right? Whether he comes and tells you or not, when I know my mentee is at the top level, that happiness, I think it's only a teacher who can be happy when your student climbs up the ladder. Nowhere do you see it. A mentee not only develops his technical and problem solving skill, but even his communication skill. He identifies his niche area and he's able to set goal and grow in that area. He develops so much that next batch will say that, can you look at him? See how he is? You make him the role model in itself. Now, A mentee gets so much of benefit if he gets a wonderful mentor. It's like a mentor is like chiseling the mentee off the point, off the areas which doesn't befit him. If without this, you are beautiful. Like how a sculptor chisels and makes a beautiful statue, a mentor does it for the mentee. Okay? Is there a difference between mentoring and counseling? Because this talk had mentoring and counseling. Slight difference. Okay? A mentoring, now I connect with them on a daily basis, but a counselor is mostly a paid counselor. A mentor is never paid. He's probably paid only in kind. You get the chocolate, you get the sweet from home. That's how you get. But a counselor, you have to pay him because he's a third party. A mentor develops both career and a transition. But with a counselor, you go with a specific problem, and the problem-centered approach is only there in counseling session, right? A mentor sees you like, he's your family physician sort of a thing. He sees you out, in and out. But a counselor is like a specialist, sees you only from the problem that you have come. But he does a fantastic job, right? So you have to decide, do I need a mentor now or do I need a counselor now? Identify whom you want based on the problem and accordingly do it. Now, when I'm going to act, in certain cases, I act as a counselor, certain cases, I act as a mentor. So identify what skill you need to bring in with this particular child. Accordingly, change the hat of a mentor or a counselor. The only thing is that mentor, you need a passion. For a counselor, you need a training, right? Because trained counselor do a better job than an untrained counselor. Okay? So now, how is this mentoring process happening? Number one, I will have to establish that relationship with my mentee. I have to assess what are the skills with which my mentee comes to me. What is it that is missing? I need to identify the gaps. I need to manage the mentoring process. Set what are their expectations and the goals that they want to achieve in that given time. Make an action plan. Enable them make an action plan as well. Evaluate the effectiveness of the session and do have number of follow-up and feedback too, right? When we do each of it, every month as a mentor, I can do a status check for me as well. What do I do? Did you seek and obtain a clear understanding of what your mentee actually wanted? Are both of you on the same page? Just do that. Did you help your mentee think through the goals and the expected outcome? Did you listen to him? Similarly, did he listen to you? She is also there. Get you genuine when you're showing the empathy and support to your mentee. Did you celebrate a goal that has been achieved by your mentee? Were you there in his celebration as much as you were there in his pain? Did you guide your mentee to go up when he has achieved one target? Did you make him scale up one by one, go higher, not be in a plateau? Did you ask your mentee? Is a challenging question, right? We are in our IDY, right? I fully know that there are many people who teach yoga, but I personally feel everybody can practice yoga, but everybody cannot teach yoga. If I need to teach yoga, I should be a trainer as well. There is a difference between I know what yoga is and I teach. I'm a trainer of yoga and I teach, because when I know yoga, I say that bend down, touch the floor. Do I know this is fine? Okay. Can he bend? But a trainer would ask the right question to him. Do you have any spinal problem? Can you bend? Try. See how much can you bend. Can you go till the knee? Fantastic. Now you are able to go till the knee. They just give beautiful thing. You're not able to do it. They just say that use a dupatta, use a towel. They bring things to make you achieve reach the target. This is possible by a trainer, not by anybody who is practicing yoga, right? You will agree with me. Now, even there, if you're going to be a yoga trainer, you will have to follow all these things too, because almost the training in yoga is a one-on-one. You might be teaching a batch of 15, but what you do is completely all these things that are mentioned here. Okay, only then we connect not with our own soul, we connect with their soul as well, right? We are able to achieve. So I need to make them set goal. We are all familiar with the SMART goal setting, right? Make your mentee set a specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely goal. We can also make them set goals which are pure. Set the goal, state it positively. Make them understand every word that they have chosen in a goal. Is it relevant to them for now? And is it ethical? Make them set the goal like this, right? Make it very clear. The goal has to be challenging. It should be legally right for his age and his position that you're making him do. Environmentally sound, where he is. I'm not saying when it's environmentally sound, it is my general environment. It is where I am. That's my environment. Is it appropriate and realistic, right? Isn't all these things there a part of our dinacharya? Can we make them do all these things? Each one, I can make them set a goal, which is smart, pure, and clear, right? Follow up with your mentees and give them feedback. Every milestone that is going to be achieved, have a track, calibrate it, see if it is wrong, correct it as well. Okay. Is my relationship effective? How are we both as mentee and mentor? Am I giving you the time when you want? Am I meeting your expectation? What suggestions that we are discussing upon, are they feasible to you or are they going overboard? Am I reaching up to your expectation? Right? Do you think it is working for both of us? Do you think being with me for the last 1 month, is it working? Is the pain getting relieved? Is your problem getting solved? Are you able to solve a problem? So every milestone check with the relationship effectiveness. If any changes required, make it happen for both of us, right? That is the mentor and the mentee. What would be the additional support that you want? Should I put you across through another therapist so that you're able to handle it better? Should you have one software and app installed? What are all the external constraints which is stopping you from doing it? Can we have better partnership? Can we try to resolve it? Right, my language barrier or technologically I am challenged. What is the problem that we are having that it's not working? Where should we invest more time so that the change can be achieved? What changes might be helpful to make the way the program or either the party operates within its expectation? It's not meet expectation. We have to exceed beyond what is required. Am I able to foresee what my mentee would actually require? Am I equipping him with all those things? I'm sure all of you would have seen. I had a wonderful, wonderful teacher. I would say the best mentor I've ever had. The way he groomed me all through my master's as well as my doctoral work, I never knew he was preparing me for my future life. I was actually thinking I was working for my professor, but actually he was making me work on my skill. Like for example, he used to make me, there is a report that has come. There is a proposal that has come. I want you to read it. There is a report that has come. I want you to review it. There is a thesis that has been submitted. I want you to read it and tell me what all are the mistakes or what are all the good things. I was thinking I was making my professor's job easy and I was doing all these things. But at the end of it, I realized these exercises that he made me do enabled me to write a proposal, enabled me to see what does the reviewer of a proposal look into a proposal. How should you be in when you're writing a scientific report? How should you put your things in the right perspective, be it a publication or a thesis? How best can you put your statistics? How do you write your discussion? How should your language be? Learned so many things, but all along what I was thinking, I was working for my professor. But what was he doing for me? He was making me work on myself. That should be the mentor who we need to be actually as. There are a number of models of mentoring One of the model is simple. What is the simple model? Engage in self-development. Show genuine interest in your mentees. Always be motivated. Be there whenever your mentee is slipping down even by one step. Motivate him. Have a very, very pleasant personality so that they don't have inhibition in telling you anything. Listen to them. When I say active listening, when you're listening, please don't be working on them. Please put your eye, ears, face, everything on the mentee whom you are listening to. Be a subject expertise and encourage new ideas. I'm sure you'll be a mentor who will be wanted by the student, right? Another model is the nice model. I have my skill sets, but that is not sufficient. Can I network my mentee with another mentor for this? Do I have a good networking ability? Can I avoid conflict of interest? Can I make my mentee every goal that he sets challenging? Can I work on his character and his credibility too? And I also have a good character and credibility as well with myself. Can I espouse the vision of future? Because as a mentee, he's able to see the immediate future. But as a mentor, we should be able to see the long-term gain as well. Like how we do for institution, the strategic planning, right? Can I devote that extra time? Can I be having a very good emotional intelligence as well, so that I'm able to be empathetic as a mentor? Whichever model you want, or both the model you want to be simple and nice, please let's take each of it. I'm sure we have seen them in most of our teachers and most of our colleagues also now. Another model, we call it as the grow model. Goal, what you want to do. Enable your mentee to find out what he wants to do. The end point that the mentee wants to be. Agree what he wants. Agree for the specific outcome. These are my measurable outcomes. What would be the long-term benefit of this goal? Look into it. Are they realistic? How are you now? Can you achieve it? Am I realistic to where I am? The timeline that I'm going to give, is it the right timeline? Can I do a self-assessment? Can I give him the feedback? He's assuming things. Can I make him understand the reality? I need to look into them. Look into the opportunities. What all? He's only seeing one opportunity and he's thinking that is the only one way out. Can I enable him to look into the multiple opportunities that are there? Can I give him suggestions? I'm not making him take the opportunity, whichever I'm suggesting. Can I give him the suggestions, but the decision is taken by him, right? You're only enabling him take a decision. What would be the way forward? Okay? What would be the action step? What is the plan of action? To the nitty-gritty, you should be able to make your mentee make this perfect planning and make him feel like you're always there beside him. If he falls, before he touches the ground, he will be up, right? That confidence can you give him? That is called as the grow model. So you've seen three models. What are they? We saw number one, a simple model. Number two, a nice model. Number three, the grow model, right? Now, there are a few things that I wish to say. Like we as mentors also need certain things which we expect. A mentor needs clear expectation of their roles, enhanced listening, and a very, very good feedback giving skill, right? Mentors are never born. These things we can develop. And that's a good news, isn't it? If we are not a mentor, we can learn it. It's not like music where we say that you should be a born artist. No, mentor are developed, right? Mentor need awareness of the culture and the gender issue as well, right? I should be very sensitive to those things. The most important thing with a mentor is mentor need to support their mentee, but please challenge them. Okay? There should be a very delicate balance between supporting and also challenging them. Mentor need a forum to express their uncertainties as well. Mentors too have problems. That means like our educational units always teach us how to teach and how to use a technology and other things, but they don't teach us how to be a good mentors, right? So mentors too need training. Okay, mentor support group should be there. Okay? Mentor need to be aware of the professional boundaries. I am not a therapist. I am not a counselor. I'm only a mentor. I should be given the freedom or liberty to refer them to others. I can't do everything myself, right? Mentor also needs mentoring. Sometimes when we do, we all need a pat on the back. Mentor too needs the recognition, because that not only peps me up to work more, that also makes others to see like, I think I should also be like her, right? You become a role model. Mentors needs to be rewarded. Rewarded need not be in cash. It could be in multiple ways. Probably they could be called in the next medical education unit to take a session on how to be a good mentor. Okay. Mentorship needs a protected time. It's not that I meet my mentee on my corridor. I need to have time, the space where I can meet my mentees, right? Mentors need support to tackle their own personal and psychological problems too. There can be peer mentoring. We have the pyramidal model of peer mentoring too. Mentor, we have so many things that we can develop as every batch of mentee comes to us. Mentoring is always a work in progress only, right? This is the pyramidal model. Let's take, I'm having a new set of students whom I'm mentoring. They are too good. A couple of them are excellent. In the next batch, can I involve them in some of the mentoring sessions so that they are there along with me to mentor the first year students? And as they go up, can I make them the mentors in the hostel for my own mentees in the first year, the third or fourth year students? Can I use them? This really tells you, not only brings the bondage, I am continuously associated with my mentees. That bonding develops beautifully with them. Like how we see in ethics, mentorship is just a fire that needs to be kindled. We see this in ethics, right? Beneficence, truthfulness, non-maleficence, autonomy. All of them are required even in mentorship. We need to maintain all of them. This pandemic, really, I tell you, this pandemic was the one where all the mentors raised up to the occasion. My mentees don't have the network, so they used to record and send it to them separately. They gave their additional smartphone to them. They gave them the additional time to record, to write, and send for technologically challenged children. They took that extra time to teach them as well. There were a lot of supports that the mentors did during the COVID time. Some, in fact, they also took the additional hat of counseling. Someone lost their father or mother or the most loved one in the family, they did. Right? Sometimes, can we try certain things of assessment before we do mentoring? One is called as DISC. I'm sure all of us are familiar with this Mayer-Briggs tool, the personality test. We can do that on our mentors to find out what is it, dominant, influence, or steadiness, or concertness. What is their personality? Can I do that assessment? Can I see what is their strength? Can I work on with their strength? Can I work on the areas to be strengthened? Can I be there to bolster their emotional strength, their physical strength, as well as the spiritual health? All these now the mentor did during the pandemic, right? Mentoring is definitely challenging because we too need that attention span. Every mentee has a different learning style. I will have to teach somebody by writing, somebody by marking on the book, somebody by making them write multiple times, somebody by drawing mind maps along with them, somebody I need to write it on the paper, for somebody I need to use a board. Each child I teach the way they want because I can't do that in a classroom, right? I am aware of what is their need and requirement. And also, what is the need and requirement for the program that they've registered in? What are their expectations? Everything is changing rapidly. Am I enabling them fit to not to be a misfit in the rapidly changing world, but making them fit in this rapidly changing world, ready to change themselves as well? Am I ready to invest the time? Literally, mentoring is I grow along with each mentoring session. It looks like an invisible step, but you see that every time my step keeps growing higher and higher, right? This was something new that I saw, which is called as mentee and mentor's empathy map. This is where comes what we do. Am I able to understand what my mentee actually wants, what he feels, what he sees, what he says, and what he does? Can I do it? What are the pains and the gains that the mentee has? Like this, we have an empathy map for the mentee and the mentor also. Can we build our empathy map? Can we work on this? I think that's beautiful if we can work on this, right? I'm just adding one more thing. We have mentorship, we have counseling. I'm adding one more, which we call as coaching, which is slightly different. Only thing is that as a coach, I can design the way I think. I can not only empathize with my mentees, but I'm able to articulate the problems that they are having and enable them to have multiple ideas through the brainstorming sessions that I create for them. Develop a prototype for them, which idea fits the best into this prototype. Enable them to test it. If it works, iterate it again. My multiple iteration makes them more stronger in the idea that they have generated. And then they excel. Can we try this design the thinking model? Empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and then test, right? I've just added one more dimension to our coaching. So a mentorship is a coach. A mentorship is a beautiful support system. A mentorship is largely goal oriented as well. A mentorship, I get trained and I'm also able to train. A mentorship, I motivate others. I advise, I suggest. Both. I know which had to have at what time. My mentee success is my success. And if one direction closes, I actually prepare them to foresee more directions that are available and they select which direction they want to take. So a delicate balance of mentoring. Someone is not creating them in your own image, but giving them the opportunity to create themselves. What I do is the talent is already within them. I'm just that key, which is identifying the right talent and open it up at the right time, enabling them to improve, to develop that talent that they are having. Train and motivate them as much as possible. Be there to coach and also inspire them. I think this is what is required from each one of us as a mentor. Okay? So I'm sure each one of you, being in the field of yoga, whatever I have said now, they're already there in your practice. But the only thing is that I've just put them all together at one place so that we can use this as a model, not only in our teaching and training session, but wherever we can take up this mentorship hat. Can we try this? If there are students, if I'm a mentee, allow your mentor to groom you. Allow your mentor to shape you in the way that suits you the best. It is with your permission they are working on you. And end product, you are only designing it. Okay? It's only allowing them to shape. Thank you. I see some chat. Let me see. Okay. Vidyashri, I didn't get what you said. Mentorship is an opportunity, a God-given blessing. Very well said. Very good. Shyamala Vijay Shiva, please unmute yourself and ask a question. Can they?
Ma'am, Namaskaram. Your session was really good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Actually, it has thrown a light on what is mentorship. So I want to know whether parents can become mentors for their children regarding education or finding a career, and in what way teachers differ from mentor. Nowadays, teachers are forced to take the job of the mentorship also, and also as a mentor, what is your view on nowadays kids? They are bombarded with school lessons and also with a lot of coaching. So you please throw some light on that.
Yeah.
So
sure.
being a
Well,
doctor, being a medical doctor, I think I can also become a mentor for my patients as well.
Definitely. Ma'am, a very good question. We say a parent can definitely become a mentor. Please forget that you are a parent at that moment. I am your friend. I am your mentor. But sometimes as a parent, we become dominant over them. That is where that mentorship doesn't work if you're a parent. If we are able to discriminate ourselves at that moment that I wish to play the role of a mentor, allow to be listened. Listen to your child when he is speaking to you. I am sure they would allow you to be their mentor. Right? That's the first question that you asked. Parents can be a mentor. But the
Okay.
second one that you said, teachers are forced to be a mentor. No, ma'am. Teachers, a part of a role of a teacher is being a mentor.
Okay.
It is not forced upon at all. It is as that all of us are at this level only because we had wonderful teachers right from our kindergarten to our college.
Okay.
We had beautiful teachers who invested their time on us. Never have they took money from us, but they took the time to know. I'm just telling you,
Okay.
my English teacher was too good. My handwriting was pathetic. There was no need for her to make me do what she did. She made me write handwriting in a 4-rule notebook when I was in my class 11. Can you think if it's possible today? I studied in a co-ed school, but she never made me feel upset. I could see that she was making extra effort to make me work on my handwriting. She told me like you are losing your marks only because of your handwriting. If your handwriting was good,
Okay.
she made me. I just feel like every teacher, even I don't think my English teacher succeeded. Even in my master's, my handwriting wasn't great. But what my teacher said was, the way you're telling is beautiful. But the only thing is that you need to be right next to me when I'm correcting your paper, which is impossible, right? So write anything that you want to say, which is best. Write it in all caps. You think fast than what your hands can move. So best thing is make it as a flow chart. Make it as bullet points. Don't try to make it as paragraphs. So all these points were given to me by my teacher. He took that extra step. When he saw that my writing was really good, he started to give me additional books to read. Very good. Why aren't you reading it from the articles that are published? Read this art. Go search for this journal. Read from the journal. He never gave it to me on a platter, but enabled me to go to the library to look into the books. Right? So that means that mentorship comes, teacher comes. We say it is a calling,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. It is because of passion only teachers
Yes.
are forced to become mentors. Because not all the teachers are mentors. I want to say only a few. Only a few.
But actually everybody
So
needs
out
to be
of
a mentor.
passion, they are becoming mentors.
Yes, it will be wonderful if every teacher is a mentor, takes that role as well, and that becomes beautiful. Guru Sishya Parampara. I am at Keki Nagar. There is a government school here,
Okay.
Ashok Pillar Government Girls School.
Yes, madam. It's a very good school.
Right? You can't get an admission in that school even with a minister's letter. Every teacher stays back beyond the school hours to teach their children. Their children have also cracked NEET.
Yes, ma'am. They are even they are going to IIT also.
They are going to IIT. Ma'am, none of those teachers are paid additionally. None of their children pay additional tuition fees. The
Yes.
teachers want, ஏன் பையன் MMC ல படிக்கிறான். Right? That is the love that they want. I celebrate the success of my child. It's not the child born on my womb, child born in the classroom as my womb. That is what is mentorship.
One day you will celebrate us being very good
Ma'am,
yoga therapist.
I'm not a yoga expert. I practice yoga, and I have some of my children who wanted to discontinue medicine but completed their medicine. And when they come home to tell me, ma'am, I've done it. Okay. When they say I've done it just because of you, otherwise I would have left in the first year. I just feel like I've done multiple MBBS. Right? That's the happiness that these mentees give us. I had 2 hand raised.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you so much. I had a couple of hand raised. I request you to unmute and then ask. You can please share some of your mentors who have said which we could add value, because it's more of learning together. If you have some more additional info, please do share. Veda, please unmute.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
this is Vidyashri. Okay, you have your water. Actually, I mean it that the clear picture means in my understanding. So not only understanding, we have to be in the same wavelength. That is more important than more than like family touch, like everybody said that the son, a daughter and mother or whatever, and they have to be in a good way. Way means I mean it in a right sense that their thought should be reached, because you mentor mainly many people think you are not supposed to force your thought to that person thinking, because you have to enlighten that person's thinking in the right path. What you said, like your teacher made you to write for the handwriting purpose, like that we are only few people get a good mentor in the right path, make the student in the right this one. As you said, like you only, it happened to me. I just gone for some diploma course, but because of my mentor, I complete now MSc yoga now.
Fantastic.
This is the transmission you mentors really want. That's what you people making us to. Okay, you are not fit. You have to be progress and one particular thing.
Yes.
That time we used to felt why everybody is stepping out from what we are now, but that after that when you get that fruit of success, then only we realize that okay, for this purpose only our mentor stopped somewhere. Now we are going in a good path. Thank you, wonderful presentation and wonderful flowcharts. Everything is very nice, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. I still remember somebody said, even in our downfall, there was really a downfall that I was having in my career when I went to meet my mentor. Okay? I just literally cried to him in the state in which I am. He gave me, just as I was crying and talking to me, just wrote on a paper. He gave the paper to me and I cried, and some of the wordings also vanished or got smushed with my tears. I came and gave it to my father. This is what my sir said. My father just took that paper, laminated, and gave it to me. Keep it on your table. It was just what Gita says. Whatever happens in your life is for your good and God's sake. You will realize how good it is at a later day. Whenever I'm upset, I look at this like my sir is telling me this. That means what I'm undergoing now is like a hit that a gold gets or a line that a diamond gets to have that extra shine. So let me undergo this. It will definitely be good for me. So that gives me so much of strength, because these were the powerful words of my mentor who gave me. Ma'am, someone asked me, can the parent be a mentor? Yes, my father was my best mentor. He allowed me to question a lot. And for every question I had, if he cannot answer, he used to refer me to the right people to go and answer, find the answer. So only thing is that he never had the hat of father when he was mentoring me. He was my mentor. That's the small difference.
We have one more question, ma'am.
Yeah.
What are
Yes,
the
ma'am.
difficulties mentor face while mentoring, especially for adolescents? How those challenges are taken in positive way?
The more very well asked question, because a lot of mentoring is required for adolescent. Adolescent is a really delicate phase where that's the phase I think I know everything, but we know they don't know everything, right? That small gap from a child to an adult, that adolescent period is that beautiful period where they need to be molded, right? So the first thing is enable them to make mistakes. Don't go hold them. Allow them to make the mistake, right? After a mistake is made, don't criticize them. When they are calm and cool, can we just look back what happened? Can we just see what is the best thing that you could have done, or how differently could you have done it? I'm just asking it like these sort of things will happen in your life. So that let's not make the same mistake every time. Let's be ready to make a new mistake every time. Today, the mistake that you have done, what is it that you can do differently so that this mistake could not have happened? Now, I did not give an advice. I made them look within. Same picture, enable them to run and find out where they made a mistake. It's only after they have made the mistake we are doing it. Once they find out they have done it, next time they will come back to us. I need to do this is what I plan to do. Am I right? Am I on the right track? They start to believe in us, right? This I'm telling even as a parent. I've just had both my kids become an adult, but when they cross, this is the way that is definitely required. They don't want our advice. They don't want us to tell this is what we did at your age, because our age was very different. They're in a much more difficult age now. We've had a pleasureful age. We had time to play. Now they have only time to go to class. We played. We played a sport. Now they are in a class for the same sport. So it's a very difficult life they are dealing with. We need to understand that first. Allow them to make the mistake. Do not advise. Make them introspect to identify what could have been done differently to avoid this problem, right? Whenever they are in a problem, just give them the shoulder or the lap. Don't take it as an opportunity to advise. Na appave sonnalla. Don't go into that advisory mode. Allow them to cry, allow them to break. But before they touch the ground, be there as a second pad for them at that time alone. This works. There's too much on adolescent coaching that I actually do, because I'm also a life coach and I also do with the adolescent. But that is beautiful thing. But the minute they see that you are there to work along with them, they trust you more. Who is the right mentor? I see one question. Dhanalakshmi says, how to find who is the right mentor? Somebody said we have to be in the same frequency. All of us have done that sonometer experiment in physics, putting a paper, hitting on the tuning fork and keeping it, the paper flies off, or the resonance water column where the water rises. Why it happens is that the tuning fork frequency and where I've kept the paper, that frequency are the same. We vibe. We vibe only with the people, with some people. With that some people, when we are able to connect, identify, that person could probably be my mentor. The way he's talking, he's really talking my mind out. He could probably be your mentor. Try to identify that. I hope I've answered you, Dhanalakshmi. Okay, ma'am, you had something else to add on?
Ma'am, here I want to mention about one person who is a real mentor. Actually, I don't know anything in yoga. So that professor actually, he called and explained and asked me to join the course. And even after passing out, he used to give me a lot of inputs to attend a lot of workshops like this, conferences, and he made me to take webinars. And his role was really excellent during the COVID time. See, he actually insisted me, motivated me to do yoga therapy for the COVID patients. So every day or every week, I used to explain and I used to seek his advice, suggestions. And really, I never gave a holiday to my clinic. And I have attended all my patients and given yoga therapy for all the COVID affected patients, including ICU. And even it gave me the opportunity to participate in the International Yoga Day event in the governor's place. So I need not mention that it is none other than my revered professor, Dr. Ilangovan.
I did guess
Yeah,
it.
I don't know what is yoga. And see, I'm a medical practitioner, but what I didn't get as a medical doctor, it was possible for me to achieve all the things only because of yoga and yoga therapy. ஸோ அவருடைய ஒரு மோட்டிவேஷனும் ஒரு இதுவும் இன்புட்ஸும் இல்லைன்னா என்னால் அந்த கோவிட் டைமில் அந்த மாதிரி தைரியமாக பண்ணியிருக்கவே முடியாது. ஸோ எப்படி தேங்க்ஸ் சொல்கிறதுனே தெரியல. ஹி இஸ் அ ரியல் மென்டர் ஃபார் மீ. So even he used to see whenever I speak, I used to send my this thing to him, sir, whether it is correct or not. Even he used to, no, this is wrong, this is not correct. See, a good mentor is not the one who is always praising you, who is correcting, who is giving you the opportunities. So who is always thinking of your growth. See, did he get any salary, extra salary? No, nothing that. Similarly, in my school also, there is one teacher. She is not only a teacher. So still, see, because of her, I have become a doctor.
I'm sure today's session.
So that is why I opened my clinic on Teachers' Day, September 5th. That clinic is 28 years old. It's now I can say they are not teachers alone. They are more than teachers. So I think in this
you have got it. You have got it. A mentor is
Yes.
more than a teacher,
yes,
right? I'm
Yes.
just putting one more here. A mentor is one who is able to identify what is the purpose of your life. Like he made you do so many things during COVID. He made you identify your purpose of your life,
yes,
which is
ma'am.
called as ikigai, which is also a thing that a mentor actually is able to identify what you're good at.
Yes, ma'am.
What you're good at can be used for the benefit of others, which is
Yes, ma'am.
exactly what Sir did with you. And you allowed him to work with you. Okay, you allowed him to work on you actually. That's why I said a mentee-mentor relationship is such a beautiful, sanctified relationship that I permit my mentor to work on me. That trust I have in him or her makes me, I'm not an replica of him. I have my own uniqueness in me, but only thing is that he makes me in the polished way that would be useful for both me and the society also, right? That's definitely a mentorship. Beautiful. It's more than a teacher. Veda, looks like you're not able to unmute yourself. I appreciate if you can type it here, ma.
Ma'am, we have one more question.
Okay,
What,
go ahead.
what motivates you to be a successful mentor? Because we can see your slides are so, from your slides, we can see your experience in mind, body, medicine, and lifestyle. And as well as you are a life coach, you are having a life coach certified skills also. So what motivates you to be a mentor, so beautiful mentor?
Ma'am, I can't say. Only thing is that when every time I see one of my mentee progressing well, that gives me like an energy to work on a difficult mentee whom I'm having currently. Right? Like I always say this whenever I take it. One of my mentee who was finding it very, very difficult, when she saw on the Hindu paper, I still remember it was in 2007 or 2008, if I'm not wrong, in 2008. In Hindu paper, there was one half a page ad where a cock is flying above the eagle. I'm sure you know, cock cannot fly over the eagle. Cock is flying over the eagle, and very small wording there. Only a mentor can do it. I was actually searching for it now because it is all there on the loft at lamp. When she gave it to me, she said that when I saw this paper, no one I could remember but you. It was, I'm actually getting goosebumps when I tell it as well. I just laminated it and I just said that beautiful, right? It is another thing for me, like I can make anybody fly above even a vulture or an eagle. But only thing is that I need to be ready to invest that extra time. When I have had a wonderful guide or mentors, all of us would like to be like how my mentor was there for me. I wish to be there for any people who come across in my life. That's exactly what I do there.
That's so beautiful, ma'am.
Thank you.
We have next question. Nowadays, we can see so many mental and emotional deviation in school children. How mentorship helps? Please share your views on that.
A very, very much needed question. We have parents sometimes go overboard in their parenting. A delicate balance is required in the school by the teachers to take that role as a mentor, because as a mentor, I have maximum 10 mentees with me. That's it. These are the 10 jewels that I'm having, whom I'll have to make them shine in the best way possible. Right? I will have to invest the time to find out what are a mentor looks into even some of their personal problems, which is impacting their career. Right? I'm directly not going into the personal problem. If that is going to impact their performance, I wish to help them in handling that personal problem. Right? Which is very much required nowadays. Every school, now we have this mentorship mandatory in colleges, but schools should definitely have this mentee-mentor meetings, mentee-mentor classes, where I'm able to go and meet my mentor I'm really scared to meet my teachers, but I have n number of problems. I should be free to open up with my mentor about my problem. That sort of a thing needs to definitely be there. So for that, I need to train the teachers to be as a mentor. If I can do it, most of the children, they would be groomed beautifully. It's not academics which makes a person a beautiful human being. It's the heart and mind and soul of the person makes a wonderful human being. So if we can do that at school level, I will not say go to the kindergarten level. From their 8th standard onwards, that's the small transition that adolescent phase. If we can work alongside with them, know what are they good at, enable them identify how they can identify which career path they need to, how can they speak with their parents to decide on convincing them to say that I do not want to do medicine, I don't want to take NEET, giving them that courage. Everything a mentor at a school can actually do. I get children in my coaching like that, where there is a discord between the parent and the child. How do you work? We have to work, make them speak, work together. That's where we need to, this mentors actually help. Ma'am, Abdul Kalamji, we would not have had him, had he not had a mentor, max teacher, had he not have a mentor at MIT. And even after he became the president of India too, he did mention both their names. That's mentor.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable input. Encouragement to others is something everyone can give. Somebody needs what you have to give. It may not be your money, it may be your time, it may be your listening ear, it may be your arms to encourage, it may be your smile to uplift. With this, I will say mentoring and mentee session is how much it is needed for listening to grow from unlearning to learning. That is how the madam is pointing the mentor-mentee session, the Guru Shishya Parampara, which is most needed in today's life, especially for adolescents, children who are in the colleges as well as in the schools. Even I feel that with my daughter also, that she needs mentoring session. Like if you are the mentor, then she will be really groomed like anything. She will brighten up. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Simple but yet effective words.
Thank you.
So, ma'am is a young scientist. She has received a young scientist. We can see with that her smile, and she is like always exploring with the new things. She is a young woman scientist. She has got young woman scientists from government of Tamil Nadu also. From her smile also, we can see that. And again, she has put a lot of research papers also on stress, sleep, and she has good citation index of 400 plus, H index of 12. So with this, I really thank you, ma'am. It was really a wonderful session on guidance. Instead of guidance, I will say mentor and mentee session as a Guru Parampara, Guru Shishya Parampara, as we say in our yoga tradition. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks to Ilangovan sir for requesting me to be part of this IDY program. Really feel
Thank
honored.
you. Thank you. very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you.
Now I hand over the session to Subulakshmi ma'am. She is Associate Professor of SYST Maher. Ma'am, are you there?
Yes, Pallavi. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ji Mohan ji, shall we start?
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you, Ji. Good afternoon, all of you. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming and introducing Yogi Mohan ji to this faculty development program on integrating yoga in higher education on the occasion of International Day of Yoga 2022. First of all, thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation and willing to share your yogic journey and experiences with all of us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Let me give you a brief introduction about Yogic Mohan, sir. Yogi Mohan ji was elected as most influential yoga spreader in yoga in China. Yes, it was Mohan ji who took yoga to China. It is interesting to know what was the status of yoga in China when Yogi Mohan ji first started teaching yoga in China. Sir, could you please share your experiences with us in taking yoga to Chinese citizens? And before sir sharing, let us get into sir's journey of yoga. Yogi Mohan ji was born in Himalaya mountains, the birthplace of yoga, and raised in the valley of Himalayas, Rishikesh, the world capital of yoga. He had his first yoga class at the age of 13 and since have practiced and lived with numerous yoga masters in Rishikesh to learn about the yogic traditions. With the blessings of his masters, he went to university to complete his education in the most renowned institution of yoga in India. Additionally, Sir has received continuous training under the guidance of Sri O.P. Tiwari ji in pranayama, who has become over the years a true mentor to Yogi Mohan. After finishing his university studies, Yogi Mohan ji pursued deeper knowledge in yoga therapy. With his affluent education background and abundant teaching experiences, Yogi Mohan became the head of the teaching department of Paramarth Niketan in 2000. There, Yogi Mohan ji led teacher training programs with students coming from all over the world. Since Yogi Mohan ji has been continuously invited to teach at the International Yoga Festival in Rishikesh, the biggest yoga festival in the world, Yogi Mohan ji believes that learning never ceases. Until today, he keeps learning every day with his masters and from his students also. Some of the positions that Mohan ji holds now: Yogi Yoga China founder and teaching department director, teaching director of Paramarth Niketan, Rishikesh from 2000 to 2003, Yogi Yoga teacher training course material designer. Sir has conducted many yoga therapy teacher training courses. Around 70 times in China he has conducted, also in Taiwan from 2007 to 2021. More than 30,000 students, I believe all of them, mostly they are all Chinese citizens, have been passed out from yoga therapy teacher training. 13 years of teaching experience Sir has in yoga therapy. More than 600 clients have got private sessions. These are all very brief and very short story, I think, lots. could not, I know sir hasn't given, as he is so polite that he didn't want much of his thing. His publication, sir has published a book, Pure Yoga, published in China. Moganji has given many professional presentations and lecture at prestigious Beijing University. This Beijing University, often called the Harvard of China, in 2017, 18, and 19, and also guest lecture at Tsinghua University, another top university in China. Also presented in yoga conferences at Kaivalya Dhamma, an international yoga festival from 2002 to 2020, an Asian Yoga Conference held in Hong Kong in the year 2019. This is very brief. I know much is not given by our Moganji. There is a lot to talk about and it will take a lot of time to introduce itself. I hope you are all very willing to listen from Moganji. So I cut short here. Sir, it would be very nice if you can share your experiences with our participants, that how Chinese citizens are willing to learn and your experiences taking it to them, everything. Thank you, sir. Now over to you.
Thank you so much for this long introduction. So first of all, I'm really grateful of the Dr. Subbalakshmi ji who has introduced me to this webinar, and also thanks so much for this MEENAKSHI, this higher education and the research academy, and I'm really grateful. So my journey to come to China, it was in 2003. I came here. And that was that time is like the yoga was very new for China. In Beijing, we opened our center in 2003. So there was one center before us. So totally there was two centers only. And in that period, people have very lack of knowledge about yoga. They having a lot of misunderstanding. Many times people ask me if yoga is coming from America, coming from the West, because whatever they were seeing before is always the pictures of Western people doing the yoga poses, and even the teachers who was existing in China that time, they were mostly are the Westerners, some of from America and some are from Europe. So they have this idea like a yoga is coming from the West, not from in their neighboring country from India. So even this type of misunderstanding was here. But these misunderstandings go away very fast. I think like in the beginning, there was a lot of people who only come to the yoga because they have practiced somewhere outside of China. They were the top people in their societies. So the big managers, CEO, or they are the people who has lived in abroad. So in the beginning, these type of people were coming to the yoga classes. And yoga start with the very small place. Only 8 people can come inside in one time. So in 2003, 2004, I'm almost teaching like maybe 5 to 7 classes a day because of the place is very small. But gradually the number of the people start increasing, especially after 2005. And we published the book in 2005, and that helped also to let the people to know more about yoga. And up to the 2008, majority of people in China know about yoga because there is a lot of book has been published, and we have published almost more than almost 12 books on yoga from the different institution, from different masters. So it was really like in few years, there was a lot of yoga material available in Chinese market, so the people can able to understand what is this really. And one thing that was very important in this journey of yoga for this Chinese people, they were since beginning was very interested, not only interested, but they really have a lot of enthusiasm to practice yoga. They just, I think this is the nature of Chinese people. If they enter in any field, they want to know 100%. They don't want to stop only halfway. So they want to know everything. So this curiosity of these people make them practice continuously. And now you can find very easily yoga teacher in China. But if you're trying to find Tai Chi teacher in China, it is a little bit more difficult than the yoga teachers. So you can easily understand how much yoga has spread all over the China, where the yoga teacher you find in yoga centers, yoga schools, you find in the each gym, the fitness gym. Nowadays, there is a principle. If you open a fitness gym, there must be the yoga class there. If there is no yoga class, that's mean this fitness gym is not very professional. So yoga has reached almost from big city of China to the small town. And now you can find yoga in each and every town of China. We had opened yoga in 2003, and almost like I'm teaching here, almost 19 years. So people had adopted yoga as their regular practice. And the number of the students are keep increasing. One thing is quite different in China than the other country outside of India, in other countries. The practitioner here in China, they are the age group. It is more are the 20 to 30. And what I see in the Western countries, people go close to yoga after 30s, but here is quite different. The students mostly have the age group around 20 to 30s, and majority of them are female. So naturally, one thing, if mother follow something, if she practice yoga, naturally she transfer this practice to their children's, because children's always follow their mother. Whatever she's doing, they want to be just copy of her. So I feel like the yoga going to stay in China for a long period, and because it's going to transfer from this generation to next generation. And that is what happening even in our schools of yoga. The children are coming for training. They are just 13 years old, 14. We have the youngest student who come for training. She was only 12-year old. And we have the people who are above 60. Even we have the student who are 72 years and come to do the teacher training. So it is spreading everywhere in China, and people really getting benefit. That's why they are trying to practice continuously, and they want to teach other people. They want to share their benefit, their knowledge with other people. So I think the future of the yoga, it is wonderful in China. And there is a lot of Indian teacher here who's giving their service. Not only I am here, but there is a lot of other teachers, and they have one confidence on Indian teachers, because they are coming from the place where this yoga born and grow up. So they have more confidence on Indian teacher, because they feel like it should be in their tradition. It should be in their soul, because it's coming from their country. So I think they have a lot of respect for Indian teachers, and I hope this respect remain continuously. And I have not done so many things. I was just teaching yoga, and I just teach as it is we learn in India and how we teach in India. So I just follow that tradition continuously. So people love to practice. So continuously people keep growing. So we having the school in Beijing, we have in Hangzhou, in Guangzhou, and Chengdu, 4 places we having the schools where we do the training, and the training go from up to the 2.5 years if somebody joins. So we want the people should know about each aspect of yoga, not only the one aspect of yoga. Mostly time people only interested in asana, but once they join the training, we teach them each practical aspect of yoga and the philosophy of yoga. So we want like people have a very proper understanding relation between the practical aspect and philosophical aspect of yoga. So once they come out and go to teach or they practice, they have a very clear path where their practice should lead them. So it is going well in China, and I hope and I wish like the Chinese will continue practice, because the yoga has that quality. You practice every day, it gives you something more and more. That benefit never decrease, or it not remains same. Each day you practice, you're going to get more and more. And that is the quality of yoga. Once you jump in the ocean of yoga, you're going to get continuously something more and something more. So you will swim continuously as you're getting continuously things. So this is what I want to talk about, how's the yoga is going on in China. So let's come to the topic. My topic is mental health and yoga. Mental health has always remained the center of the Indian philosophy. You go with any philosophy, our sixth philosophy, if you see, this mind always remain in the center. And in yoga, the importance to the mind given much more than any other things. Even we see the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. In the second sutra, Patanjali tells us the importance of the mind. So the whole yoga is just go around the minds. According to Patanjali Yoga, Chitta Vritti Nirodha, that's mean having total control, total mastery, or to channelize the function of the mind called yoga. So even Patanjali doesn't say like you're practicing asanas, you're practicing pranayama, you're doing meditation called yoga. Because sometimes we understand like doing yoga, doing asana called yoga, or doing pranayama called yoga, doing meditation called yoga. These are the instrument of yoga. These are the different practices of yoga, but itself, it is not yoga. So what is the yoga? To having total control over the fluctuation of the mind. So in second sutra, if anybody read Patanjali Yoga Sutra, from beginning he know what is really the purpose of yoga. If you just working with the asanas, pranayama, meditation, it is wonderful, but what result should come? You should have a total control over the mind. And if it is not happening through your practice of asanas, pranayama, meditation, that's mean it cannot call a practice of yoga. So second sutra tells us very clearly, it is the whole science of yoga to control our mind, to discipline our mind, to channelize the function of the mind in right direction. So we don't have exact date of when Patanjali has wrote this Patanjali Yoga Sutra, but if you say 2000 years ago, 3000 years ago, he gave us 5 fluctuation of the mind. And now we are in 21st century, and still there is a 5 fluctuation of the mind. Nobody say like now is a 6 or there is a 4 only. So what does that mean really? What problem with the mind we have 2000, 3000 years ago, we have same problem today. Mind has not changed really. So many times it is very clear in our philosophy, the mind itself is a problem for humankind. Because if your mind is under control of you, you're going to be a happy person. You're going to be a very satisfied, a harmonized person. But majority of us, the mind doesn't allow us to remain in pleasant situation. In other way, mind control us. We're not controlling the mind. Sometimes we have this illusion like I am controlling the mind, but this illusion also given by the mind to us. So to understand this mind, we have to go a little bit more back. The first commentary on Patanjali Yoga Sutra is written by Vedavyasa. So according Vedavyasa, there is a 5 type of mind, and we can able to understand through his description about the different type of mind, what type of mind I am having. And through that, we can able to do the particular practices, what I should do, what I should not do, or how much I need to work, in which direction I need to go, we can able to understand much better. So if we understand what type of mind we are having, because when Patanjali mentioned about yoga, he said yoga's chitta vritti nirodha. Chitta is a term which is not include only mind, but include ego and the intellect. When we combine three things together, this mana, buddhi, ahankara, then it becomes the chitta. And this concept has come from the Sankhya philosophy. So the Patanjali Yoga Sutra and Sankhya philosophy, they are very close to each other. It is the purpose to just hear Patanjali is telling, like to control the fluctuation of the mind. And next sutra, he tell us like how you can able to control that. He said, tada drustu swarupe avasthanam. Just become one with your real self. That becoming one with the real self, it is the, many of us, we don't know what is the real self really, because we always think like I am with my real self. What is this real self? So if some, for the intellectual people, the first three sutras are very complete, giving complete knowledge of yoga. They no need to go further in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, because in first sutra he say, I'm going to start a discipline of yoga or a practical path of yoga. Second sutra, he tell what is yoga and how you can get really to become one with your real self. So becoming one with the real self, we don't understand this. That's why he write continuously. So we can able to reach in that state. So if we understand our mind first, what type of mind I'm having, that is much more easier, what path I should follow really, how much I need to work. So Vedavyasa has described the five type of mind. First is the Chipta, Muda, Vikshipta, Ekagra, and Niruddha Chitta. So these are the five type of mind. If you say the Chipta Chitta, that Chipta Chitta is the disturbed mind. And you have seen a lot of people having this type of mind or Chitta, which is disturbed. Which is disturbed mean what? It is because the work of the mind is doing two things only: create continuously thought and the desires for us. So this Chipta Chitta is always running behind the desires and thoughts. And this desire and the thoughts, he jump from one to other very fast. So we call it is a restless mind. That's mean it doesn't stuck on one thing for more than a few seconds. It keep jumping from one object to the other object or one desire to other desire continuously. So this type of people, they want to do a lot of things, but they cannot able to stuck with the one thing more than few minutes, more than few days only. They continuously changing themselves. And this type of mind make the people suffer more and more, because as they cannot continue one thing, they cannot able to get success really. So it lead them towards the depression, towards the unhappiness. The people who having this chip, the disturbed mind, it is always daydreaming continuously. They always somehow, it is always thoughts are running continuously, desire and keep coming, and they keep moving from one thought to other thought, one desire to other desire continuously. They never be in the present. They are in the past or they are in the future continuously. This type of people, according to Vedavyasa, not really suitable for practicing yoga, because the distraction, anything can able to disturb their mind and lead them to somewhere else than the things what they should do really. And we have meet a lot of people, this type of people. I can give you the example, like some of the students, they come to do the trainings and they have a desire to become not only the teacher, but they want to become a good teacher. They want to be a best teacher. But their focus in the class is very minimum. They stay 5 minutes in the class and 10 minutes outside of the class. As they do that continuously, only in 2 weeks, we can able to see the other student who was focused and practicing continuously, they have progressed much more than them. And when they see in the beginning, all the students was in same level, but in 2 weeks, these students move much further than this particular person who has the chitta, a disturbed mind, because it doesn't allow this person to focus on the things what going on in the present. So naturally, this type of student, they have to quit always the training before it finished, because they realize they are losing their place. They not coping up with the other students are progressing very fast. So these people want to try everything. They want to become something, but they don't want to put the effort there, because their mind is continuously leading them from present to the past or future. So according to Vedavyasa, this type of people are not really suitable for a spiritual journey. Second type of chitta is the mood, the dull mind. Many of us, we have a healthy fit body and a strong body also, but mind is so dull, it doesn't allow to use that strength of the body for anything. You can understand this dull mind, this mood. It is just this person mind just think about himself, his pleasure, his happiness. So the life is quite much like animals. They care about two things: their food and their comfort. If they getting their food and they have the comfort, for them everything is fine. They not want to move themselves for anything. And this type of people just very negative for all other people who doing the wonderful thing. Whenever they talk about the people who doing wonderful thing, they're never going to appreciate these people, but they always going to criticize them, because if they appreciate them, then naturally there is other people who will tell, if you appreciate that people, why you not going to do like that? Why you not doing like them also? So naturally, they always has one attitude to criticize them. So it's life is quite very much like an animal. They are just thinking about themselves, their comfort and their food. If the two things they have, then they are happy with themselves. They don't care about anything else. They are very much self-focused people. They not really think about anything else. So the Muda is just very dull mind who just desire only the comfort and only the proper food, a tasty food, nothing more than very much like an animal. The third type of chitta is vikshipta, is distracted chitta, and majority of people having this vikshipta, this distracted chitta. Why I'm telling that? Because we can always focus for maybe 1 hour, for maybe 2 hours, but then after our mind get distracted. It get distracted and then we again bring it back. We have to force ourselves to bring this mind back from other things to the present, to what really happening there. So majority of people, in the beginning who joined the yoga, I see they all have this type of chitta, which is concentrated for 1 day, for 1 week, and then one holiday come, okay? And then that holiday means no practice, just enjoy what they want to do. Naturally, that 1 day can become 2 days, 2 days can become 3 days, 3 days become 4 days. They don't focus as they were focusing before. And then they force themselves, no, it's not correct really, I should focus. And then they again focus for 1 week. Again, one holiday come and they get distracted. And then that 1 day become 2, 2 become 3, and then again they force. So this fighting between their mind and themselves is keep going on. The mind want to go away from the practice, and the person has to fight, has to force this mind to bring to the practice continuously. And this fight keep going on. That gradually, as the person force continuously this mind to bring back to the practice continuously, gradually the mind become quieter and quieter, and these people can able to focus not for 1 week, then they go for 1 month, and after 1 month they say, okay, I have practiced for 1 month, let's have a 1-day holiday. And that 1-day holiday will become 2, 2 become 3, and it become 1 week. And then later, this is quite difficult to start again the practice. So this distract mind, it just can focus, but it cannot focus for a long time. So the people has to force themselves, force this mind to bring back continuously to their practice. And majority of people having this distracted mind, which can gradually can convert, if they able to bring this mind back to the practice, it can gradually can convert to the ekagra chitta, ekagra mind. That's mean one pointed mind. The one pointed mind is what really? It is like I'm not forcing myself really to practice. I have not that force, no, I have to practice. But every day, it has just become like this, like I want to practice. And if I don't practice that whole day, I don't feel good really. Many of you who are listening, maybe you're having this ekagra chitta who just want every day to practice. And if by chance, by any region, you miss that practice the whole day, you don't feel really very comfortable. I'm missing something continuously. So this ekagra chitta, there's no fight going on between me and this mind. This mind by itself going towards the practice, it lead me towards the practice. So ekagra chitta, it is, if you're having that ekagra chitta, that's mean the progress in yoga, in the field of yoga, it can be faster and you can reach to your goal in very short time. So there is always the chances you start with the vikshipta chitta, which get distracted by even small things. But as you force yourself to bring back this mind, this vikshipta mind to practice, it can convert into ekagra, the one-pointed mind. The last type of chitta, the mind, has been explained by the Vedavyasa. It is called niruddha. That's mean the master mind. This is your ekagra chitta naturally gradually convert into the niruddha chitta. That's mean you have total control over the mind. So you don't follow the mind, now mind follow to you continuously. And you have that quality to the guide the mind, and the mind can help you to do the things. That's mean we don't say it, you have stopped the function of the mind, because stopping the function of the mind, that's mean you will not have any desire, you not have any thoughts, because we need this thought and the desire continuously. We need right thoughts, we need right desire. So naturally in niruddha chitta, it is a state of the mind where the mind remain calm and your intellect becomes sharper and sharper and sharper. So naturally this, as your intellect, because only your intellect can work properly when your mind is quiet. And in niruddha chitta is the mind completely becomes silence, quiet, and intellect. You can able to use the more faculty of your brain. You can use the more faculty of your intellect. Only once your chitta is convert into the niruddha chitta, then only you can able to reach to the samadhi, or even reaching to the meditation, you need that niruddha chitta. So these are the 5 type of chitta, or the mind, has been explained by the Vedavyasa. So according him, you having the chitta, you have this disturbed mind, you have moodha, you're not really suitable for the spiritual journey, because your mind will create always obstacle. Chitta, vikshipta chitta, the distracted mind, it can be through the practice continuously by forcing your mind to come back to the practice continuously. It can convert into the ekagra, and ekagra can convert into the niruddha chitta. So first of all, what chitta we are having, we need to see really. Majority of us, it is the vikshipta chitta, which is distracted, which can focus for a few hours, few days, and then it get distracted. It remain distracted for a couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of months, and then again we focus on the practice. So it keep going on. So there's always the chances, if you make a proper discipline, you can able to move this distracted mind to the one pointed mind, and this one pointed mind can convert into the mastermind. So these are the different type of chitta, different type of mind has been explained in the first commentary on Patanjali Yoga Sutra by the Vedavyasa. Now the question come, how I can convert my vikshipta chitta to the ekagra chitta and convert ekagra to the niruddha chitta. This is the process which going to happen by itself. You cannot do anything, just you need to do a practice. So how I should practice really? What I should do really to much faster my chitta, my mind can go to that state where I should not fight with my mind for practice. So Patanjali has explained what we should do really. So he said the abhyasa vairagya bhyam tan nirodha. So he gave us two things. First is abhyasa, the practice. Vairagya, we normally translate it as a detachment. But more clear meaning of this vairagya is not to be dependent on anything. Because let's see one by one. First is abhyasa. And abhyasa and this vairagya, this detachment, non-dependency go together, because you only can practice continuously when you have lack of attachment, you have lack of dependency on other things. So when Patanjali explained abhyasa, so maybe the question come, I'm also practicing, so that's mean what I practice, as I practice, it is also abhyasa. So that's mean my vikshipta chitta can convert to the ekagra or niruddha chitta gradually. But Patanjali said what is called abhyasa really, how we practice really. And what Patanjali is telling is quite different thing really. So he said tatra istito yatno abhyasa. That's mean like you have to establish yourself in your practice. You have to become one with your practice. So what does that mean really, becoming one with your practice really? Mean once you practice, when you are practicing, nothing else remain in your mind really. It's just you and your practice, nothing more than that really. I give you an example. So maybe it become more clear. Normally, we all want to practice. When we wake up in the morning, the first thing come to our mind, oh my God, I have to practice again. Our face in that time is tense. It's not a happy face. It's not like I wake up, open the eyes, and I have a big smile like, oh, it's the time to practice. That happiness is not there really. When we wake up in the morning, it's just, oh my God, I have to practice again. When we put the mat, oh my God, again, I have to do sun salutation. So we forcing ourselves to practice. It's not I want, but I'm forcing myself continuously. If you see like, if you talk about an alcoholic person, in whole day, which time the alcoholic person really like? He never liked morning really. He always liked the evening. Why he liked the evening? Because from morning, he is waiting for the evening because he can able to drink that alcohol. So from morning, he wait for the evening. And once the bottle of alcohol come in front of him, he just have only, he become almost one with that bottle. He forget whole world really. And what is existing for him, that bottle and him only. And once this alcohol go inside, and he forget everything. So I'm not telling you have to become alcoholic, you have to become addicted. But if you take the example, when you like something, when the time come to do that thing, you become happier and happier and happier. And once you start doing that thing, you forget all other things completely. But in our case, whenever we putting the mat, we don't have that happiness really. Oh, this is the time I was waiting since whole day. This is my happiest time. No, I see very less people when they put the mat on the mat, they have the smile in the face. They have tension. Oh my God, I have to practice 1 hour. I have to practice 2 hours. I have to do sun salutation. I have to do this and that. So up to when you are forcing yourself, it will not call the abhyasa. You're not becoming one with your real self. Real. Many of you maybe have experienced what call becoming one with your practice. Sometime we do like a session of 108 round of sun salutation. So in the beginning, many people, they are so scared. They are very much like, they don't know how other people can able to do 108 round of sun salutation. In the class, when we are doing only 5-6 round, we feel tired, we feel exhausted. How somebody can able to do really 108 round? So many people, they come with the curiosity. They know they're not able to do 108, but they come there to see who are these people who going to do really this 108 round. And as the people start doing, they say, okay, I do 5 round, then I'm going to stop. Then 5 round becomes 6 become 10. They're forcing because nobody's stopping really. And when nobody's stopping, they have to force themselves. Then 10 round become 11 become 15. They see around, even the much weaker, much older people is continue doing. So they force themselves continue. And it happened up to 10 round, up to 20 round, 25. But after 25 round, it feel like it is happening. You're not doing the sun salutation really, but your body is moving naturally, continuously. And at the last, you just hear the teacher is telling it is a last round, it is a 108th round. And you feel very surprised. You feel like you're still in that 20th round, that 25th round. And you never know really how I have done this 108 round of sun salutation without stopping. So that called becoming one with your practice. Tat sthito yatano abhyasa. So if we have that way of practicing, this practice, that's mean forget everything. Once you are on your yoga mat, that's mean you and that mat exists, and gradually that mat also disappear. You remain there with your practice, and at the last you also disappear. What remain there is only the practice. So that type of abhyasa the Patanjali want from the practitioner of yoga. And if we have the sense of the practice, if I'm not, because we cannot forget everything all the time. But if you practice for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, just be with your practice, and it will lead you towards the success in your practice. The next sutra, he say, how you able to do this type of practice? What are the conditions are there you should do really? So he says, Satu Dirgha Kala Narantarya Satkara Sevito Dranabhumi. So this is a very important sutra for every practitioner of yoga if they want to get success in their practice, whatever they are doing. So to Dirgha Kal, first it should be continue without any interruption. So to Dirgha Kal Narantarya Sat, and it should be for a long period. No interruption there. Narantarya Satkara Sevito. It should be having devotion, should have a faith. If you're having this thing, Satkara Sevito Dranabhumi, that's mean must have a practice for a long time without any interruption and have 100% faith on your practice. Because if you have a 0.1% doubt on your practice, what you are doing, it is right, it is wrong, it will lead me towards my goal or not, then you may do 3-hour, 4-hour practice. You're not going to go anywhere. After the practice, you're going to feel tired, you're going to feel confused. And in this way, there is a lot of chances you're going to give up. So the most important thing here, first, you should have that faith in your practice. Once you have that faith and you don't keep any place for the doubt, then there's 100% surety you're going to get success, you're going to get progress much faster in your practice. The second thing, Satu Dirgha Kala, that means must be for a long period without any interruption. The interruption, as a normal practitioner, we practice maybe 1 week, we want to have a one holiday. We practice 1 month, we go for traveling. So that becomes the excuse for us, like, okay, I'm going for traveling. How I'm going to practice really? So in that 2 days traveling, 3 days traveling, 7 days traveling, we just don't practice. And once we don't practice, naturally the 7 days convert to 8 days, 8 days convert to 16 days. And then we again need to force ourselves and to restart to get the same rhythm what we have previously. It is take time. And as I realize what level I had before, and I'm not reaching in that level, that's mean that time we feel really depressed, we feel unhappy and always want to give up the practice. So that's why Patanjali say must be for a long time without any interruption and must have 100% faith. Now the how you can do this practice, there is a condition, is a vairagya. Because without having detachment or without having non-dependency on anything, you're not able to do this type of practice. Because once we talk about the vairagya, vairagya is always translated as a detachment, to detach yourself from everything. See, as a humankind, we cannot be detached from everything. If you say mother detach from his baby, the father detach from his child, it's not possible really. You cannot, if you are detached from everything, nothing, there's no emotions there for anything. It is not possible if you are a humankind. So the correct term for the vairagya, not to be dependent on anything. So I think this, if there is a lack of dependency on the things, you able to practice in all time, in any condition. But if you become dependent for your practice for something, then it will be a problem. Now we have the yoga mat, and before we practice, we just use the blanket, we use a bed sheet, we practice on that. So now it is almost become compulsory. If you want to practice yoga, you need to have a yoga mat. But we all know without yoga mat also we can practice. So that dependency should be not there. I should not have like, okay, you must have the yoga cloth, then only I can practice. So that is more or less dependency you have on the other things. You can focus more on your practice. If you can make yourself detach from that for that 1 hour, 1.5 hour, whatever time you are giving for your practice, it's going to be wonderful. Because there is impossible for even for a great master to be detached from everything, because he's a part of this universe. This universe, we are connected with everything. So that vairagya, when Patanjali explained vairagya, he say what you have experienced and what you have not experienced, but what you have seen only, not to be have the desire to get that pleasure back to back. So it is very clear what you have experienced. That's mean whatever pleasure you have get from the objects, and even you have not get the pleasure, but you have think about that object, what it can give you, not to have that desire to get pleasure continuously. That called the vairagya. So it's very clear not to be dependent on anything. So if we can have this vairagya in our practice, maybe it's for 1 hour, for 2 hours, that 1 hour, 2 hour, our practice will make the rest of your 22 hours of the day wonderful. You can do your job well, you can sleep well, you can eat well, and you're going to be a happy person rest of your day. So it's very clear, if we want to control this mind, we want to have a better condition for ourselves, we need to have like a proper practice, the abhyasa, and we must have the vairagya. Now, when we talk about this mental health, we understand like the mind, this 21st century is called the century of psychosomatic diseases. Whatever the name of the disease, except which come from this bacteria, virus, fungus, if you leave this things, all the diseases can be created by the mind. And nowadays in our society, the more and more people suffer from the stress related diseases, people having insomnia, people having hypertension, even people having constipation. And we all know even the stress can able to create the arthritis, can create the sciatica, can create the cervical spondylosis or spondylitis. Any name of the disease you take, it can be created by the mind. That's why people say this 21st century is a century of psychosomatic disease. All the diseases, whatever the name there, it can be created by the mind. So the stress is the most growing evil in our society and creating a lot of deformity within us. So if you see the why we are stucking with this stress, why we don't let go the things really, because as a human we have the tendency to hold the thing continuously. More we hold the things, these things become more and more subtle, they become more and more heavier and heavier, and they go deep inside of us. And to take out them, it is not easy from deep inside of us. So for example, if I take this cup of the water and I'm just holding this cup, I can hold for 1 minute, 5 minutes, it's very easy for me. But I'm keep holding for half an hour, then my hand will start shaking, and gradually my hand can become numb only because of this weight of this cup. But this weight of the cup has not changed, but what has changed really, I'm holding this thing. So when we hold something which is negative for a long period, it's going to give us the problem, because the work of mind to create thought and desire continuously. So it's not going to stop really. And if we keep running behind this desire and thought, it will lead us towards the stress disorders. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, in Yama, Patanjali has explained about apigraha, non-possessiveness. And I feel like in our society, more and more people having not a positive mind, having negative mind, it is the biggest reason. We become a humankind who want to collect everything. Whatever we see, I just want to collect that thing because other person has, or it look beautiful, or I have the money to buy this thing. I don't think I need or I don't need really, but I just like it, give the pleasure to my eyes. It maybe give the pleasure to my skin. So I just want to collect that thing. And it is very clear, whenever you're collecting more and more thing around you, you become attached with them. In same way, you become depend on them. And whatever happened to these objects, it's going to affect you continuously. And that effect naturally is not going to be positive, it's going to be negative. And more thing you have collect, anything happen to them, you become more and more attachment you have with them. And anything happen to these objects, it going to create a negative feeling. It's going to create depression. It's going to create unhappiness. And we all understand nothing going to exist for forever. The objects, whatever we collect, it's going to change continuously. So naturally, the Patanjali give us so clear, do not collect that unnecessary thing. It's not mean we should not collect anything, but we should collect the thing according our need, not according our desire really. So there is a basic principle. If we can fulfill our need first and then we go for desire, it is wonderful. But if first we go for desire and then we look for the need, then the person going to have problem. And this unhappiness in the society, it mostly time we just follow our desire and we not fulfilling our needs. So the more and more people, it's just running behind the desire. So up to when this journey, this running behind the desire is not going to reduce, the mental health is not going to improve, and we're going to stuck continuously in the trap of stress related diseases. And now many research has been done how yoga have effect in the stress related diseases, and this is the wonderful instrument to counter the stress related problem. What we practice in yoga is asanas, pranayama, and meditation. And when we do this, we call I'm doing yoga. Let's see these three things first, how they can help us to have a better mental health. Asanas, what we are doing in asana, we contract, we stress our body, we stand on our hand, we stand on our head. What happened really when we are doing that really? There is a research has been done in Boston University of America. There was two group of students. One group of students go to study for 1 hour in the library. They can choose any book and they read. The second group, of the student go to practice 1 hour of asana. So they want to see really, because there is a common benefit people get from the practicing asanas. After practicing asana, everybody has a common feeling. They feel more calm. They feel more relaxed. And many people, even they doesn't know what is yoga really, but they have get great, tremendous benefit of practicing asana. They feel they are changed person. They are much quieter, much calm person than before. They not remain aggressive. They doesn't get easily agitated. So this Boston University want to do the research, how the asana affect really the people, why the people feel calm and quiet after practicing asanas. So in our brain, we have this GABA amino acid, which is secreted by the neuron. So it is work like a tranquilizer for our hypothalamus, because stress affect our hypothalamus. It make hyperactive this hypothalamus, and that adrenal become hyperactive, and it secrete the adrenaline and cortisol in our bloodstream. So whatever we seeing the reaction in our body through this stress, it all happening because of this adrenaline and cortisol. So this, if we have sufficient amount of this GABA amino acid in our brain, it doesn't allow this hypothalamus to remain active, hyperactive for a long period. So whenever there is a stress situation come, as the situation go away, hypothalamus get quiet. So that's why many times you have seen like some people get very angry on somebody or in any region, but within 5 minutes, when you go to see them again, you cannot find any sign of that anger, that agitation on their face. But some people, once they get agitated in morning, they get upset in the morning, even you meet them in the evening, you can easily see through their face something has happened wrong with this person. He not really look pleasant. Something has happened. So some people can able to cut this stress reaction very fast if you're having a sufficient amount of GABA acid. If the GABA acid is not sufficient in our brain, then naturally the hypothalamus, once it get active, hyperactive because of any stress situation, it doesn't get quiet. So we keep in that situation continuously, which has already finished. Somebody has shout on you. Now he say already sorry, but you are keep thinking how possible he shout on me, how he shout on me, how dare he shout on me. So he has already told you sorry. So this situation, but the mind doesn't stop continuously. It keep moving. It doesn't let you go away from that situation. So this Boston University of America make the two group of students. So they check before going to read the books in the library and practicing asanas 1 hour, they check the amount of GABA acid in their brain. So those students was going to read the books in the library. After reading, no any change come in the amount of GABA acid in their brain. But those students were practicing asanas, they have increased 27% of the GABA acid in the brain. So it is very clear, if you practice every day, it will help. You may give half an hour, you may give 45 minutes, just 1 hour. But if it is continuously, you will have a sufficient amount of GABA amino acid in your brain. So it will help you whenever your mind get agitated, or in other way, whenever you stuck in a stress situation, you can calm down yourself much faster. So this is the asanas. The second thing is pranayama. Pranayama is an amazing practice. What we do in pranayama, we inhale from one nostril and exhale from other nostril, and is a big science between this right and left nostril. We all know the this is the concept of Ida and Pingla there. But pranayama is a practice. You, through just changing the breath to the right to left nostril, or left nostril to the right nostril, we can manipulate the function of our nervous system. When we see the people who are agitated, who are not in right situation, the nervous system is always hyperactive. So only you just work with your breathing, work with your nostril, you can have a great control over the function of the nervous system. You can able to deal with this hyperactivation of the nervous system. You can make it very calm very fast. Like in Hatha Pradipika, Swatmaram said chale vatam, chale chittam. So according our breath, our mind move really. If breath is slow, mind going to be quiet. If breath is fast, mind going to agitate. Breath stop, mind also stop. So you cannot directly catch this mind. So you have to find other way, indirect ways. The pranayama is a wonderful way. In physical level, it calm down your nervous system, because in any stress situation or when your mind is restless, naturally your nervous system going to be very hyperactive. And if you practice pranayama, the nervous system get very fast quiet. Naturally nervous system is quiet. Your hypothalamus, your adrenal gland has to become calm and quiet. So pranayama is amazing practice. With the help of pranayama, you can have a great control over the senses and the mind in very short time. So pranayama directly deal with the nervous system. So naturally, if you practice pranayama, you have very less chances. You can remain unhappy, agitated, or you can have the stress-related diseases. The last one, it is the meditation. Meditation is the amazing practice. We just close the eyes and focus on particular object. This object can be outside of our body or inside of our body. And we keep focusing, According to Patanjali, the before meditation, the dharana come. Desabandhasya chittasya dharana. That's mean you're binding your chitta with the particular object. That called dharana. And this dharana convert into the meditation. Tat partayaya ekatanatam dhyanam. So when your awareness, your consciousness keep flowing towards that object without any interruption, that called meditation. So always when we want to go do the meditation, we always has to start from the dharana. We have to focus on the object, and then I don't need to force myself. I don't need to force my mind, senses to focus. It happening by itself. That is the state of the meditation. So meditation call a great instrument to work against the stress-related problem, to have a better health of the mind. In simple way, we say it make the mind quite real. but there is a big region behind how it works really in physical level. Why everybody is nowadays talking so much about the meditation. In our brain work with the four frequency. There is a beta, alpha, theta, and delta frequency. Our brain come to the quietest state in the delta frequency. And every night when we go to sleep, almost we need 6 hours sleep. Then after our brain fall in the delta frequency, that is the time we regenerate ourselves from get refreshed from the whatever we have done previous day. That tiredness of the body and the mind start disappearing. If our brain doesn't come to the delta frequency during the sleep, after waking from that type of sleep, we always have more tiredness, and that we're not refreshed in physical level or in mental level. So through meditation, you may able to lead your brain to the delta frequency in few seconds, in few minutes, and you can stay in that frequency as long you want. It depends on your practice. So meditation in physical level, it is the instrument to lead our brain very fast in delta frequency, where after 6 hours of sleep we go to in delta frequency. Here the meditation can lead us into the few seconds, and once our brain reach in delta frequency, whatever damage has happened because of working whole day from morning to evening, we start recovering from from these things. So you can easily see, like if you think about the mental health, there is no better instrument than yoga, which can help you much faster and lead you towards the right direction, because it works with your body, it works with your energy, and it works with your mind. So you get all these three things at the same time. So if anyone have a desire to want to be quiet, that's mean you want to keep your mind quiet, there is no better instrument than yoga. So after talking all these things, I think the mind remain the center of the humankind from beginning, because according Patanjali, it is the mind itself is a problem for humankind. And up to when you following the mind, you cannot say you have the healthy mind. Once your mind start following you, that's mean you have a quiet mind, you have a better mental health. So I stop talking here now.
We are delving deeper into the Yoga Sutras, Ji. So takes time now for us to come back to reality.
No.
Sir, our Ilangovan sir, our professor and head, he's the guru for me and for the scholars here. So sir will be giving you the concluding remarks for this today's session, sir. He's the guidance for all of us. He's the guru for us. So I would like to, Ilangovan sir.
Thank you, ma'am. And now the session is open for participant. Participant, please post your questions in the chat box.
Participants, you can raise your hand or you can ask question in the chat box. One question is going on, sir. How many times pranayama it should be advised?
See,
How
the
many minutes of
pranayama,
pranayama?
see, if you want to practice pranayama in Hatha Pradipika, it is very clear suggested you can practice 4 times a day, early morning, before taking your lunch, and in the evening and the late night. For a normal practitioner, I think the best time is always morning or in the evening. Then each time when you practice pranayama, because we have different pranayamas. So according Hatha Pradipika, we have 8 pranayamas, and according Grahana Samhita, we have 10 pranayama. So what you should do, right, when you choose to practice any pranayama, minimum 15 round of that pranayama you have to go. Then only affect your body, mind, and energy. If you just do 2-3 round and switch to the other pranayama, it's not going to work.
Thank you, sir. And the next question is, what is the best time to do asana, meditation, and pranayama?
See, like for all the yoga practices, the best time is early morning, because there is a reason why the early morning is the best time. First thing, in physical level, our digestive tract is quite empty. So whatever you're going to do as a cleansing, as a asanas, as a pranayama, will have a very proper effect in each and every physical organ of our body. Second thing, our mind is much more quieter in the morning in other time of the day. So the mind can able to focus easily in the early morning on practice than other time of the day, because whatever thing you have go through the last day, it also all has been digested during the sleep. So morning the mind is much more quieter and it can focus. Third reason, the environment in the morning is much more quieter than other time of the day. So that's why the morning time you want to do asanas, you want to do pranayama, or you want to do meditation, is always the best time.
Thank you, sir. And the next question is, please share the more light on alpha, beta, gamma, and theta waves during meditation.
See, like when we are practicing, when we do the meditation, our brain work with a different frequency. Normally, when we are not very happy, we are not very in pleasant situation, that time our brain is always in beta frequency. For example, like you have to do something but you don't want to do that thing, so that time your brain will be always in beta frequency. So in beta frequency, the speed of the brain is like a beat, you can say beat of the brain is 13 to 60 per second. So everything is too fast, everything is too much thing happening in our brain. But once we come in the pleasant situation, maybe you see a beautiful nature, you see a beautiful person, or you see a beautiful object, immediately our brain come in the alpha frequency. So the beat of the brain becomes 7 to 13 per second. When we are not completely awake, when we are not completely in the sleep, we are drowsy, for example. You're listening, but nothing is going inside. You're not completely awake, you're not in sleep. So that time the brain come in theta frequency. So the beat of brain become 4 to 7 per second that time. Alpha is the frequency of the brain when the brain is more quiet, completely quiet. This is the quietest state. So there is a beat of the speed of the brain, or beat of the brain become 0.1 to 4 per second. So this state of this delta frequency come, for example, you're going to go to sleep 10 o'clock, you fall in sleep 10 o'clock. So after 4 o'clock, your brain will move into delta frequency. So it need almost 6 hours of sleep to your brain to go in delta frequency. So you go to sleep 10 o'clock, after 4 o'clock, the brain going to be in delta frequency. But in between, you maybe wake up because you want to just pass your urine, or because of the sound, you wake up. Maybe you wake up 12 o'clock. Then the cycle start again. then your brain will go in delta frequency after 6 a.m. So it need almost 6 hours. So that's why the people say the deepest sleep, it is always in early morning. Meditation help us to very fast, we move from beta to alpha and lead ourselves to the delta very fast. So that's why they say, if you meditate, you can have almost 3 times more benefit than what you get from the sleep in physical and mental level.
So the meditation is good for insomnia people, sir? What is your view on that?
Insomnia, see the cause of insomnia, if it is not physical, because some people have insomnia because of the pain, discomfort in physical level. If it is not, the cause is not the physical discomfort, if it is the only because majority of time the insomnia cause is hiding in the mental level. So if it is in mental level, then the meditation can be wonderful for insomnia.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, what happened with the brain actually when we focus on the brain? Which part of the brain is involved?
Which part of the brain involved when we focus on the breathing?
Yes, sir. Because this participant, she has observed when at a time she can.
See, like we have 2 nostrils, and once the breath is moving through in and out from this right nostril, because even we have this 2 nostril never work together really. Almost 2 or 2.5 hour one nostril work, 2 and 2.5 hour other nostril work. And when this cycle come to change from right to left or left to right, that for few minutes, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, this both nostrils start working. So when our right nostril is working, our left brain is functioning more. When our left nostril work more, it is the right brain function more. So that's why majority of us, we are dominated by this left brain, and we all know the left brain work with the analyzing, all this calculation, all this mathematics, all this thing, it is controlled by our left brain. So when the breath move through the left nostril, our right brain start dominating, and when right brain dominating, we feel more pleasant, we feel more happiness, we have more emotions than these thoughts and these ideas.
Thank you, sir. The next question: how do we change our Shipta state mind to Nirupta state? Because for each actions, our mind might be different. Sometimes we might be in the Ekagraha, sometimes we might be in the Shipta. How we make the steadiness in one point of state for all the actions?
No, just because as a human, we have to deal with each and every situation continuously. You can be in very pleasant situation, you can be in situation which is very harmful for you. So, but according Patanjali, just what can lead you towards the Niruddha Chitta, it is a continuous practice for a long time without interruption. And what is most important, it is to have 100% faith in your practice. If you have these 3 things continuously, your mind will convert from Vikshipta to the Ekagra, and then it convert to the Niruddha. This is the only way. And when it convert, you will even by yourself, you will never know really how. Before you were forcing yourself to practice, now you start liking the practice. You're just waiting for that time when it's time come to practice. So there's only need to do is just practice for continuously long time and have 100% faith. Don't have any interruption there. You may do for half an hour, 1 hour, but keep it continuously.
Thank you, sir. So the next question. So the Ujjayi breathing we usually used to do in the asanas. Is any other breathing will be more effective along with the asanas?
Traditionally, there is when you say it is the Ujjayi, some tradition they they give the preference to the, when you do asanas, you have to do the ujjayi breathing. So that ujjayi breathing and ujjayi pranayama is quite different thing. When you do ujjayi pranayama, we have to inhale from the both nostril and we exhale from the left nostril. So that called ujjayi pranayama, inhaling both, exhaling left. But when you are doing during the asana, that is called ujjayi pranayama, ujjayi breathing. You're just contracting the throat little bit and creating the rubbing sound. Traditionally, we follow like it to do abdominal breathing without creating any sound from the throat, because traditionally, as your breath is more and more quiet, then only your mind can be more quiet. The reason behind this, I'm not telling doing ujjayi breathing during asana is wrong. There is no problem with that. So for many beginners, when they do ujjayi breathing, they can focus more easily. But traditionally, our breath only create the sound when we are not feel comfortable physically or mentally. You have, even whenever you get angry, your breath will create the sound. You are tired, your breath will create the sound. Even you don't want to show other person you are angry, you are tired, but breath will create the sound. So as quiet your breath during the asanas, that good it is. So mostly what we do as a breathing during the asana, it is the abdominal breathing. Abdominal breathing, we all know it is a natural way of the breathing. More you take abdominal breathing, it is more wonderful for our body.
Thank you, sir. And the next question is, at what age should we start yoga for children?
See, like when in our time, as people say, 12 years will be the right time. Up to that time, the bone has grown properly, joints had settled down properly. But nowadays, the children has a very good nourishment. So nowadays, people start telling that 8 years is a right age. After that, they can practice. But for me, like as children's, they run, they play a lot of other things. They start learning dancing, they start learning kung fu in very young age. So yoga is always, they can start in any age, but we cannot go there, correct them, push them before 8 years, because the joints still are very soft. There is a chances to dislocation. So that's why as this soft bones has converted to the normal bone and the joints has well settled down, then after you can able to teach them as you teach the adult. That's when you're able to correct them physically.
Thank you, sir. And the next question, I have practiced in Kundalini yoga sometime. I get more happy, but sometime automatically I got pressure. What I can do it, sir?
Just don't get pressure. You see, like it is very much like what happens sometime when I practice today, I feel wonderful because of my practice. So that result, what I get, it was amazing. So next day when I want to practice, I want to get same result, and that not coming really. Because from beginning, my focus is not in my practice, but to just get that result, what I have get yesterday. So when we are just looking for the result and not focusing on the practice, it doesn't come. And then I don't feel good really, because I have feel so wonderful yesterday. I'm not getting the same thing. So I feel like it not working. How I was yesterday feeling, it is that feeling is not coming, because that feeling was amazing. So once the people start looking for the result and forget about the practice, because what previously you have get, you may not get that again, but you may get something more than that. But many time what happened, like we just stuck with the previous experience. Oh, I have feel so wonderful yesterday, why today I'm not getting that, why today I'm not getting, because first from beginning of your practice, your focus is not in the practice, but you just want to have a same feeling what you had yesterday. So that many time person feel not very satisfied with their practice.
Thank you, sir. And the next question is, is the Nirodha state is thoughtless state is really we can achieve, or the people who can achieve towards Samadhi, they can reach that state?
You see, like a Niruddha, the state, it is like the mind is, that's mean you become a master of your mind. That's mean you control mind or mind follow you really. And that state almost everybody can experience in meditation. Yeah. So it is not something like it's not something impossible really, because up to when you do not have niruddha mind, if you forget about that samadhi, even reaching into the meditation, it is impossible really. Because in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, everything whatever explained, it is possible. If it is impossible, he is not going to explain that thing, because first sutra he say it is a practical path, it's the discipline, it is not a theory. So whatever has been told in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it is possible. For example, the samadhi. What is the samadhi really? Many people feel like this, it is samadhi is something which is impossible for a normal person. We not able to get the samadhi. So to forget about samadhi, just do asana, just to stretch, contract the body. But if you read the sutra of the samadhi, it is very clearly say what it is not impossible. Everybody has that quality to get that state. So we see a samprayoge chitta swarupa anukara. We say, I forget that maybe that completely. So I just see like this samadhi, when you forget completely yourself and you become one with the object, that called samadhi. So we see a samprayoga chitta swarupa anukara evendriyanam samadhi. That's mean one, you completely forget yourself and you become one with the object of meditation, that called samadhi. I give you the example, and everybody of us somehow we have gone in samadhi for few seconds, few minutes. So if we just follow the sutra, his Patanjali is telling, when you forget yourself and you become one with the object of meditation, that called samadhi. So when I take the nature and you see something, you see the horizon is a wonderful nature. For a few seconds, you forget completely yourself, what you are doing, how you're standing. You just what remain there, that beautiful nature. And after a few seconds, you get shake. Oh my God, it is so amazing. I forget myself. Many times it happens like when you listen a wonderful music, a beautiful music, and even you are in shopping mall, you listen that music and you forget completely yourself, and it's just the music remain there. Nothing there, it's just music. You forget completely yourself and it's just music there. And then after a few seconds back, your awareness come back. And you say, oh my God, I forget completely myself. If there was only the music. So that is the state of samadhi. When you forget yourself and you become one with the object of your meditation. So it is not impossible really. So in Patanjali, whatever is written, it is possible, and it is possible for every normal person. Just need to follow the right practice.
Thank you, sir. And the next question is, the breath observation really take me towards the meditation?
Yeah, there is for meditation, you need an object. There is only a great people, great master can do meditation in emptiness where there is no object. But if you want to meditate, you need an object. So if you observe your breath, that your breath become a object of your meditation. So of course, breath observation can be a good choice for the meditation.
And another question, how the meditation helps in epilepsy?
See, the epilepsy is like it is really complicated problem, and this people nowadays epilepsy can come because of the stroke and other or injury, and this if person has from childhood, then it is really difficult to recover. But if it is come because of a stroke and other injuries, then there is a chances person can able to recover it from it through the meditation, because our body has this quality, it can heal by itself, but you need to let your body to go in that state first. So meditation create that environment inside of us, inside of the brain, to let whatever injuries, whatever imbalance has come there, it can go away gradually. So I cannot say person can recover 100%, but the meditation can always can help you to come out from that whatever imbalance has happened within you, really. Because through the meditation, the communication between the neuron is improved continuously, and then the brain remain more calm than the hyperactive. So only when brain remain more quieter than hyperactive, then the each and every sector of the brain can able to function very correctly.
Thank you, sir. And we read in newspaper you are the reason for opening so many yoga schools in China. So what is your view on the yoga for the school students, or how it impacts them? What are the results we achieved in that?
I think like to bringing yoga to the school children's, it is a wonderful thing, really, because even I live in Rishikesh, I'm coming from mountain. So I start yoga when I was 13, really. And the serious practice of yoga start when I become 18, 19. So in that, if from young age, if I start really, somebody start teaching us, somebody start guiding us in yoga, really, we will in this next generation, what problem we are suffering, this insomnia, hypertension, headache, asthma, we will have less and less problem, really. People know what to do to heal themselves. And also the yoga is not only the physical aspect, but it tell you what is right and what is wrong in your life. People will choose more right path than the wrong path in their life. So I think the importance of yoga education is vast in the children's education. It should be there.
Thank you, sir. Now it is vote of thanks by Dr. R. Iramuthan, sir.
DAY3. Dr. DAY3.
Dr. Jayashree, do you have any question? Please raise your hand. You put a question. Okay. I think ma'am is not there. So we will conclude this session with the vote of thanks by Dr. Ilangovan, sir, Professor and Head, FIST Maher. I hand over the session to Dr. Ilangovan, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, sir. It is a historic moment for us, a massive moment for us. Whenever we used to handle classes, particularly the history of yoga, we used to mention your name, how you revolutionized China, how you transformed China into your yoga. So that much greatness that we could understand. We are really very happy that we are seeing you in person, though it is through online. So it is a historic moment. Once again, I used to tell, because you correlated the aesthetic sense of yoga and also the scientific facts. So you balance both. So you are unique, gifted. And we used to heard many things about Machendra, Goraknath, Satvarama, Nadamuni, Krishnamacharya, Iyengar, but we are seeing all in you, sir. So such a great person you are. We feel elated. And also you are the lighthouse of yoga. How Vivekananda spread yoga throughout the world. So we feel Swami Vivekananda in you. It is incredible performance and you are the finest yogi of all the times. And also we understand that you are an institution. You are so pride of yoga in the world. And at the outset, what we feel that you are yoga, yoga is you. Thank you very much, sir. We expect your blessings always and we are elated. Feel proud
Thank
of
you
you.
so much,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for inviting me here and sharing the few words with the people. I hope this webinar, I see it's going to go to wonderful. And there is a lot of people. I was listening the last professor lecture also. She was amazing, was talking about the Guru and Sishya Parampara. I feel like it is a wonderful event you are doing and spreading the knowledge of yoga to the people. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to wrap up the day 3 session on faculty development program on integrating yoga in higher education on the occasion of International Day of Yoga 2022, organized by Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education and Research, Chennai. Participants, we feel blessed that we have someone like you who are making this event lively just by interaction. We expect the same support from all of you for the next 2 days. We also expect that you all are gaining absolutely sensational knowledge through our faculty development program organized by Dr. R. Ilangavan, Professor and Head, FISP Maher. Thank you all. Now the day 3 feedback link is shared in the chat box. We kindly request you all the participants to open your cameras for a group picture. Sir, please switch on the camera to have a group picture. Thank you. Requesting all the participants to join the prayer by closing their eyes and to observe the wholeness within yourself. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Once again, we meet tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning with the same Zoom link for more pointers on yoga through prominent speakers. Thank you all.